We use experts in modeling and in decision making at each and every step of the way. We use experts when we decide how to formulate the question. We use experts when we choose one model or another. When we talk about structured expert judgment, we mean when we know there is uncertainty, we don't have enough data to quantify it, and we go to experts for numbers, for verifiable facts, or for probabilities of events that will eventually occur in the future. Structured expert judgment is a tool that is very useful in quantifying uncertainty. It's inherently interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. There's no one field that can claim structured expert judgment. You need a little bit of engineering, you need a little bit of statistics, you need probability theory, you need good foundations in mathematics, but you also need a lot of social science. You need people to work together and talk to one another. The expert judgment just means people go to experts and ask them things. Like every time we do something, we go to Bob and ask him, what do you think my number should be here, 3 or 5? And Bob, who's the expert, will tell me 5 and I'm going to run with that. That's expert judgment. But what we're saying here is you have to do it properly and as scientific as possible. So we follow all those scientific principles of reproducibility and defendability and documenting thoroughly everything we're doing. By formulating the questions in a very structured way, we can then verify it against facts. So that gives us a bit of verification, validation. It's just like calibrating your instruments when you're measuring something in the field. If I don't have the data, there's a temptation to go, maybe we don't solve this bit of the problem, and we just reframe the question so we can answer what we can answer. Instead of doing that, what we're saying is, no, answer the full question. You won't get the precise answer. You'll get a more approximate answer because you're taking into account all this uncertainty that you have because of lack of data. But you have this other source of knowledge that is huge and you should tap into. And if you do it properly, it will quantify your uncertainty in a way that is actually reliable. And we have all these previous studies to prove that. We can take the learner from the initial stages of understanding the background of the problem, the context, and why and where do they need to use this tool of expert judgment, and walk them through all the steps of the process, from how many experts do you need, what sort of questions you need to ask, how to ask these questions, what biases you should be aware of, run that model and get the answer to the question that you are initially interested in. The course will follow a certain structure that will cover when do you need an expert judgment, what is the background of your question that you're trying to answer, what are the scientific principles that underpin the steps that are undertaken within a structured expert judgment protocol, who are the actors that need to be involved in this, and how much involvement and what sort of involvement they will have to have, how to run a successful expert judgment. And what we're seeing is, when you use a group of experts and when you do this process in a structured way, the aggregated answer from your group of experts is accurate, is calibrated, is informative, using different measures for this sort of qualifiers, but you are quantifying an answer for their question with a best case scenario and a worst case scenario attached to that best estimate that you can get out of the experts.